If you've been scrolling through a sea of AV receivers, watching endless comparison videos, and still feel that uneasy tug of what if I pick the wrong one, you're not alone. I've been there, juggling the promise of big-screen cinema at home against the fear of spending a chunk of my budget on a system that ends up gathering dust. That hesitation is real, especially when you're looking at a bundle that claims to be complete right out of the box. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. In this review, I'm going to break down the Energy Take Classic 5.1 Home Theater Bundle with the Denon AVRS 670H, so you can see exactly where the value lives and whether it matches the way you actually watch movies, game, or stream music. First, let's talk about what the bundle gives you: a Denon 8K HDMI AV Receiver, a pair of Klipsch satellite speakers, a 200-watt subwoofer, and the Heos wireless streaming platform, all packed into a glossy, space-saving chassis. For someone who wants a home theater that works straight out of the box, this is appealing. The receiver's 8K HDMI inputs future-proof your setup if you plan to upgrade to a next-gen TV or a 4K projector, while Heos lets you pull music from Spotify, Apple Music, or even a local NAS without needing a separate streamer. In real-world use, that means you can start a movie night with a single click. The receiver auto-detects the 5.1 signal, powers up the speakers, and the subwoofer thumps the low-end frequencies that make explosions feel like they're happening in your living room. I tried it with a Blu-ray disc of a recent action film, and the dialogue stayed clear even when the bass was booming, something that can be a pain point with cheaper, underpowered bundles. Now, who should actually consider this package? If you're a first-time home theater builder who doesn't want to hunt down individual components, the Energy Take Classic is a solid match. The included speakers are calibrated for a standard rectangular room, so you won't need to spend hours measuring SPL levels or buying a separate calibration mic. It's also a good fit for gamers who want immersive surround cues without fiddling with virtual surround software, because the receiver's Dolby Atmos processing works with most modern titles. On the flip side, if you already own high-end floor-standing speakers, a dedicated sub, or a separate streaming device, you might feel this bundle is overkill. The satellite speakers, while competent, can't match the depth of larger cabinets, so audiophiles seeking a true hi-fi experience may want to replace them sooner rather than later. From a practical standpoint, the hidden trade-offs become clearer once the box is open. The receiver's 200-watt subwoofer is powerful enough to add that rumble you expect from a cinema, but it also means you need to be mindful of placement. I found that tucking the sub in a corner amplified the bass to the point where it overwhelmed the mids on low-budget movies. Moving it a foot away from the wall gave a tighter response, which is something you'll have to tweak based on your room's acoustics. The Heos app is slick, but it does rely on a stable Wi-Fi network. In my apartment, the occasional drop caused a brief pause when streaming a playlist, though it recovered quickly. Another practical note: the receiver's compact high-gloss design looks great on a shelf, but the front panel buttons are small and a bit shallow, so you'll likely spend most of your time navigating via the remote or the app rather than pressing the hardware controls. Performance-wise, the bundle delivers on the promise of immersive 5.1 sound without demanding a steep learning curve. The receiver's auto room correction does a decent job of balancing speaker levels, and the sub's low-frequency output stays tight without getting muddy, something you'll notice when watching a sci-fi film with deep synth pads. I also tested a sports broadcast, and the directional cues helped locate the crowd noise and commentator voice in a way that felt natural, not artificial. However, the system's real-world limitation shows up in dynamic range handling. During very quiet dialogue scenes, the speakers can sound slightly recessed if the room isn't treated with any acoustic panels. It's not a deal-breaker, but it's a nuance to be aware of if you're sensitive to subtle audio details. The 8K HDMI capability is future-proof, yet most current content tops out at 4K, so you're paying for a feature you may not use for a while, but that's the nature of tech cycles. Wrapping it up, the Energy Take Classic 5.1 Home Theater Bundle with Denon AVRS 670H sits in a sweet spot for anyone who wants a ready-to-play, aesthetically pleasing system that covers movies, games, and music without the hassle of mixing and matching parts. Its strengths lie in the all-in-one convenience, solid subwoofer punch, and the convenience of Heos streaming, while the practical weaknesses are the need for some placement tweaking and the reliance on a good Wi-Fi signal. If you're comfortable with a modest speaker array and you value a clean setup,